with another video from the Video Chronicles. Such a strange name for a channel, but their stuff is actually decent. Sometimes, well, I don't know, it depends. This one is called Husband Finds Out 6-Year-Old Daughter Isn't His. Watch what he does. Man, this better be good. This guy calls over all the parents and this beefy shark looking dude. Damn. Yo, he straight up looked like somebody from out of Shark Tales. Anyway, their parents are all over. I believe that the girl, Jasmine, the cute little Pomeranian looking girl right there, I think those are her parents. And I think this is the mother of her husband or her boyfriend, Michael. I think that's Michael. They have a daughter who is put to sleep and they're just trying to enjoy their dinner together.
Thank you.
So, Michael. Yeah. I thought you said you had a surprise for us.
I thought we were only doing a family dinner.
I almost forgot, but let me go get it.
Oh dear. I wonder what the surprise could be. Title couldn't have given it away. So he gives everyone an envelope and it passes their envelopes around. Everyone opens it and they have this weird ass look on their face.
You are not.
Baby, what is this?
What the hell does it look like? You're looking right at it. Can't you read? He goes on to tell her, yeah, I know that baby, that little girl is not mine. I mean, I didn't know for sure, but I always had my doubts, but now I know for sure. After I took her to the doctor, I got the test done.
You know what it is, Jack.
Baby, why? Why would you do this right now?
Why do people always ask that? I don't understand that. Like, you cheated on this person, and then when they bring it up, you had the nerve to be, like, all victim-y and like, why would you do this right now? Like, oh my god, you're hurting my feelings and embarrassing me. Did you ever take into consideration when you had your scoon wrapped around another guy's scat that you were possibly hurting that guy too? Did you ever consider that you betrayed his trust and was playing him for a freaking fool, raising some other dude's kids who wants nothing to do with you, but you somehow threw away your relationship or put it at risk to lie down with this person? Man, I can't stand cheaters. And then they have the nerve to play high and mighty like they're the victim in all of this and the person who got cheated on, and you have raising some other person's kids is somehow the villain. Sorry, but you break someone's heart like that and it's a family affair since that little girl is related to everybody there, or you made them believe so, then everybody needs to know.
Well, I figure everyone needs to know the truth, right?
Jasmine, you have some explaining to do.
Mom, it's not what it looks like.
Then tell us what it is.
Baby, can we please go talk in private?
Hey, you sure like doing things in private. You like fucking in private too, didn't you?
Please.
No, Jasmine. You've done enough in private.
See?
Let's talk right here.
Baby, please don't do this right now.
So, this means that my grandbaby isn't my grandbaby?
Ding, ding, ding! You put it together, Grandma. Very good. We all know that you can do critical thinking. Keep your mouth shut and let them work it out.
Jasmine, you have some explaining to do. You need to say something.
Sandra.
I can't stomach this. Richard, we need to go. We need to go.
Please.
Why is her mom mad? It's still Jasmine's child. Jasmine's the only person, before the DNA test, who knows for sure that that's her baby. So why are you upset?
Michael, when did you find out about this?
Why is her face so damn close? Like, I know you want people's reactions, but holy shit, man. Like, when you're viewing the sun in the sky, it doesn't take up that much space. Back the camera up off the poor woman's face. We can see that she's upset without it feeling as though she's gonna swallow us whole. Anyway, Michael answers his mom by saying, yeah, I found out about it when I took Ava to the doctor, and yeah, that's when I discovered it.
But I always had my suspicion.
What do you mean? What suspicions, Michael?
Suspicions that your goddamn makeup is melting off your face.
You think I didn't notice, Jasmine?
Notice what, baby? Notice what?
Ava doesn't look like me. She doesn't have any of my features. For 6 years, I tried to convince myself that I was probably wrong. But every time I look at her, I knew something was wrong.
Feel so bad for this guy. He does sound Caribbean. He has a little Caribbean tinge in his voice. Sounds like he's Jamaican or something. But even if he did have his suspicions and he were to ask Jasmine, she probably would have been so offended. And I never understood get this. I've always seen girls get so offended when their partners ask them for a DNA test, you know, because you can be sure as the woman that the child is yours, but the man can't be sure that the child is his. And if you know for certain that you didn't go around and cheat on him, why is it a big deal to get the DNA test? Like, it's not like someone can slip in the middle of the night and have an accident and then you wind up pregnant when you brush across someone. Like, you have to know when you've laid with someone and become with child. You know, the only way for you to open the door and put a present inside is for someone to have the key and push it in the door and lock it. So why is it such a big deal unless you are sleeping around for you to say, you know what, baby, I want you to fully trust me. Yes, let's get the DNA test. As a matter of fact, let me volunteer to have it done so that there is no suspicions, no misgivings about this being your child. I never get the whole, you don't trust me? It's the same thing with freaking girls on their phones. And guys too. Guys do that shit too. If you want that person to trust you, not that they should go snooping around your stuff constantly, but if the person wants to see your phone or happens to pick it up to look at the goddamn time, you shouldn't be losing your freaking mind. You can't hide something from someone and get offended when they ask you for proof and then claim that they have to trust you and get mad or ask them to prove that they can be trusted. I just don't understand that.
But she loves you.
Who cares? Who cares? You're gonna use a child as a shield now? As cute as you are, and as salty as your tears are that they are eroding down your face and making their own river on Mars, that's not enough to negate the fact that you cheated on him. You had a child with someone else. If he cheats on you, yeah, that is horrible. It is just as bad. But at least he doesn't come and bring a child back into the relationship.
And you love her. You're the only thing that little girl knows. Please.
Jasmine, she's not my child.
We're already a family, Michael. Please.
Jesus Christ. Like, I want to be mad at her, but they got the cutest looking person. Like, she looks so oh my god, it's freaking annoying. I hate that. They casted her very well, because she is like the cutest looking Pomeranian puppy dog looking human being I have ever seen. And the way she's just like, please. You're like, god damn it. Why do you have to look so freaking cute? I hate you.
Do you know who her father is?
Baby, that was 6 years ago. I don't know.
You don't know? 6 years ago, you don't know who? Did you randomly go on the street and sleep with 10 different people? I am so confused. If it was 6 years ago, and he's saying that you cheated on him, it means that you were in a relationship with him 6 years ago. You were in a relationship with someone, and you cheated on him with someone else. You don't even know who that person is? Good Lord. That must mean that wasn't the only person. That's kind of embarrassing. Oh my God. How does this man have the patience? I mean, I know he's an actor, but still. How do people have the patience to how do you know? Oh my God, I couldn't, I'm sorry. Maybe it's my hormones or something, but if I was a woman in the relationship, I could not deal with this. I wouldn't even talk to this person. I'd be like, look, here's a test, get your shit, get out. I have nothing to say to you. And her cute little puppy dog lips, that would just, I couldn't look at that. I would have to leave, and I would have to, like, if she wouldn't leave, I'd have to call the cops and have someone bring her out. And it's difficult because it's been 6 years, but you also spent 6 years lying to this person you claim you love so much.
So many people have you been messing with?
I haven't been with anybody but you, Michael.
The DNA test doesn't say that, though. Clearly, how are you this dishonest? How are you caught red-handed, not denying it, and then in the same breath denying it? Good Lord, how does he have the patience to deal with this?
But Jasmine, that's not what the DNA test says.
Okay. It was one mistake, and that's it.
You have a whole ass entire human being from that mistake, bro, that he's paying for, that's not his. I don't understand how people do not get this concept. From women's perspective, it's like, but it's your baby. You know, it's like a dog, you know, you just have to be happy that it didn't actually come out of your freaking
hand just came out of my vagina.
But baby, I'm sorry. Please.
Oh, so cute. No, stop it. Hey, you freaking hoe. I mean, at least she said sorry. There's a lot of others that don't say sorry, but that does not excuse the fact that for 6 years you lied on this person and slept with someone else and you don't even know who you slept with. Like, how insulting can you be? You have a whole ass child, and this person's supposed to give his blood, sweat, and tears into raising this child that is somebody else's responsibility, and that person just gets to walk away, bang you and leave while he has to pick up the pieces. No, thank you, ma'am.
You need to pack your stuff.
baby, why? Why?
You and Ava have 1 week to get out of my house.
Please don't do this, please.
Oh, stop. Like, seriously though, usually I don't feel bad for these bitches, but oh god, it's the cuteness. I cannot with this freaking human toy dog. Stop. Stop with the freaking puppy tears. Fucking A, man. I don't even know what to say. Like, I get she feels bad, but it's not like you cheated and nothing happened, you know? You have a whole ass child there, and you lied to him all this time. You wouldn't be crying if he didn't catch you. Why do women do that? Why do women do that? I mean, even I'm a woman and I don't understand. Maybe I have a different perspective because I've been cheated on, and I know what it feels like to give yourself wholeheartedly to someone, do everything in your power to basically simp and tell them how much you love them, treat them like royalty, and then they fucking kick you in your guts and hurt you in the worst ways possible, physically and emotionally, and then act like you're the fucking villain, act like it was your fault. Maybe that gave me a whole new look at things. And you have those same people who just pour down crocodile tears, tell you they're gonna harm themselves and all that crap to make you feel sorry for them, even though they're the ones who hurt you. And at some point, you just gotta be like, you know what? No, I don't care. You wanna go throw your life away, literally? That is on you, bro. It's your life to do with as you wish. But I don't deserve this shit. Walk away and never look back. But there's a child. Who cares? It's not his child. It's the father's responsibility. She should be going out there and trying to find who the father is. I don't have a really great analogy for this, but mammals by nature, animals in general, are very selfish. And human beings fall into that category. Humans are selfish. Humans and mammals and animals alike want to make sure that their species or their DNA survives. It is important that their DNA goes on. When a man takes care of another man's DNA, what he's basically doing is saying, oh my, look at that alpha guy. He banged this woman and he doesn't even have to take care of the little shit. I have to take care of him without having one of my own while he gets to go out there scot-free, no responsibility, and bang more women. Meanwhile, I'm stuck with all the pain and financial drain to raise his child that he didn't put any work into. I'm not saying that in every situation it's bad for someone to take over someone else's child, but even me, aside from the fact I don't want to have kids, I don't want to be with a guy who has kids already to begin with. Call me selfish, but there is nothing wrong with being selfish. It's our biological imperative for our genes to go on. And since I don't want to have kids, I think the best analogy I can use is spending all my time writing a kick-ass essay for someone, not spending time in writing my own essay or my thesis. Having someone be like, here, write my paper for me, little shit, and me doing it and loving to do it because I love writing, right? But in the end, the other person gets the good grade and I suffer because I have less time to come up with my thesis, and it probably won't be that good because I already poured all the sweat and energy into writing that other person's thesis that has no responsibility whatsoever for their work because they didn't have to do it and they had me do it scot-free.
I'm done talking to you.
Michael, please.
Michael, I know this is hard.
Bitch, you better not be getting ready. Let's hear what Mama has to say.
Everything about it is hard. But you raised Ava from birth until now.
Oh my god. Is this Mima gonna tell her freaking son? You know, this is why I believe in some situations, you have to tell your parents to shut the hell up and mind their own goddamn business. Because ultimately, when you make a decision that's gonna affect you for the rest of your life, they're gonna die soon. You're gonna probably outlive them and they're not gonna be around. It should ultimately be up to you what you wanna do with your life and how you wanna work out your relationship. You're not fucking your mother, unless you are, so she shouldn't have a say in any of this. If she wants to still be a part of the kid's life, that's on her, but she shouldn't be forcing him to do it.
You can't put them out on the street with nowhere to go. I know you're upset, son, but do you love Ava?
Holy shit, man. You know what this kind of reminds me of? This reminds me of a situation with a dog that I bought from the pet store. And I will never buy puppies from the pet store again. I got a Pomsky, and he was beautiful. And I always wondered to myself, what the hell is wrong with him? I nicknamed him Ghost, like the White Wolf from Game of Thrones. And this is not him, but he kind of looked like this. He was very tiny like a Pomeranian with tall legs. He looked more like a Pomeranian than a Husky. He was pure white, very fluffy, and when I lifted him, he felt like a stick, like the pet store was not feeding him well. And I went to play with him and I wondered, why is this puppy the oldest puppy in the pet store? That puppy was a year old. A beautiful, pure white Pomsky, and those breeds are heavily sought after, and he's a year old and nobody has bought him? What is wrong with that picture? And the woman straight up told me after I asked her, is there anything wrong with him? And she said, no. Here, Here are his health papers. See, he's all good. I started calling him like puppy, puppy, and I noticed he wasn't responding to things I would say, but I thought he was just really excited. He would be prancing around, and he had a great personality. Not to mention, he had only one descended testicle. I started believing what I know about breeding dogs, that this dog doesn't have the best genes, but we're probably gonna neuter him anyway. Just something felt weird. So I paid like almost $3,000 for that dog. Brought him home, and aside from him trying to violate my other Pomchi, who was a male, the dog had a big dick too. Like, for its size, it was like freaking 3/4. It's freaking weird. But I noticed, and I even asked my partner, I'm like, is he deaf? So we did some tests with the squeaky toys, with certain things, and we noticed that, oh my god, poor Ghost wasn't responding, and he was unruly because he was deaf. And that is not what I signed up for. So we did the final test, and I told the lady, I called her and I said, hey, Sandy, did you know that this dog was deaf? No, I didn't know that. The bitch knew. She knew he was deaf. He's a year old. She got a dud from this backyard breeding mill, and she knew that she knew. And you have the nerve to charge people almost $3,000 for a deaf dog with horrible genes. As bad as I felt, and as much as I liked Ghost, he is not what I signed up for. I wanted a healthy puppy. First of all, he was a year old, which was already like really old for me. And I and my partner were not equipped to handle a deaf dog. I reached out to organizations to see if they would take him. They had the nerve to patronize me and tell me that deaf dogs are just as good as hearing dogs. No, they're not. They deserve to be loved as much as hearing dogs, but they are fucking deaf. They're that much harder to take care of. We live by a busy street, and I just imagine if something happens, I cannot call back this dog. If his leash snaps, or I faint, or something happens, the dog runs out in the street and cannot respond. I am not equipped to handle that, and there's no shame in that, even though I felt really guilty because his puppy was fucking starving. If anything, I would rather than put the dog to sleep than have him sit there and be all happy, and people take him home and realize that they were gypped. So yeah, I took him back, and the woman is so freaking shady. She wanted me to come in the wee early hours of the morning before she opened up the shop to take him back. And she acted like this was not the first time this happened. The poor dog. And people may say, well, you should have taken care of him anyway, like the stupid person on the Facebook group of the deaf organization trying to make me feel bad for not doing. But you know what? To hell with that bitch. Because for all of her self-righteousness and saying that they're just as good and they deserve to be taken care of, when I told her to go rescue the dog, she didn't want to do shit unless there was something financial there for her to do. It's not like her organization doesn't get lots of donations where they can go out once in a while and rescue a dog in a bad situation. Especially when me telling her, hey, this dog is heavily emaciated, and I can feel his bones for all this fluffy fur. But that was not my problem. That is not what I signed up for. Why do I have to spend all that money? It's not like the woman was even offering the dog off at a cost. I can understand if she was saying, you know what, this Pomsky is like $100. We need to get rid of him. She's probably not even feeding him as much because she's like, well, no one's adopting you, so you don't get fed as much. The dog was so skinny, you wouldn't know it, and she can get away with it being that mistreated because of all the fur that he had on him. It was sickening. And I knew that dog was deaf because in the morning before I had to bring him back to the pet store, he was in the crate sleeping finally because he's so hyperactive. And I was clapping and yelling and saying, Ghost, Ghost, screaming, and the dog is just still sleeping. And I'm like, that's when I had the final confirmation, yeah, this bitch is deaf. Only when I started walking into the room and he felt my vibrations did he wake up. And I felt horrible. I was ridden with guilt for weeks. My partner had to tell me, you know, it's not your fault. You don't fucking trick someone and then try to vilify them when they don't pull through in what they agreed on, when you trick them. It's essentially what this girl or people who try to vilify people find out that the kid that they've been taking care of is not theirs. That's kind of the same thing.
Of course I do, ma'am.
Of course he loves
I
child.
thought she was mine.
You need to take some time to process this.
You need to shut your goddamn mouth. I mean, I know that's your son and you're his mom, but Jesus Christ. Why don't you take over the kid and be like, you know, I'll be the financial supporter of this child. You marry that woman, you take care of that child. Even still, he can still be a part of the child's life if he chooses. It doesn't mean he has to be with Jasmine.
So that you won't make a foolish decision.
Foolish decision?
Shut the fuck up.
Ava can stay, but you have to find her father. You owe him the right to know his daughter.
he might not want to know his daughter. But this woman probably didn't even tell him, because you know, she cheated. And we're thinking, okay, that's fair. If the little girl can stay, it's not her fault. And she thought this guy was her dad. I mean, she's still young enough that she won't totally remember him if they cut the ties. But like I said, him taking care of Ava or still being in her life to some capacity doesn't mean he has to stay with Jasmine. But will Jasmine be okay with this?
Okay. Baby, thank you. What about us?
Really, bitch?
Can we still be a family?
Oh my God, let's see what happens. Let's see what he says.
Oh no. Why don't you start by fixing the problem you created?
I'm gonna give you two some time to work this out.
You should have done that from the beginning. Like, even if you were gonna give Michael some advice, don't you think you probably should have told him that in private?
Okay. Michael, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It was a mistake. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. This is really difficult because she seems like she's sorry, but then again, she got caught, so she didn't seem sorry before until the DNA test came up. Gotta watch out for those tears. Freaking Venus flytraps, I tell you.
I forgive you. It's gonna be hard. But we work it out.
Really, bro?
Work it out.
Sorry. I didn't mean that. Just...
Baby, whatever you want. Whatever you want. I'll make this right, okay?
How can you make it right? Can you build a time machine and go back and unstick the guy's dick from out of your vag? I don't think so, because unfortunately, once you've crossed that line and you've cheated on someone, it doesn't just go back to being normal. You still cheated. I mean, the only way you could make this right is give him a freebie. He gets to cheat too, right? And the great thing is the child doesn't come out of it. Well, I mean, that could still happen. I know two wrongs don't make a right, but you know what I'm saying? You better stay your ass over. Oh my God, really?
Sorry, I'm sorry.
It's gonna be okay, baby.
I'm so sorry.
It's gonna be okay.
Might be easy to forgive her because she's so sweet and she has the power of freaking Jigglypuff or whatever Pokemon makes you fall in love with them. Jesus. You know what? This is how people get stuck in these kind of relationships. Because what happened? What would warrant you cheating on someone and then lying to them for 6 years, and you bringing a child into this world that you know is not theirs, and then only being sorry when they catch you? That's why I have to be like seasoned and not believe half the shit that people say, because most of them aren't sorry until they're caught. If he's willing to work it out with her, she is very lucky. But I can tell you it's not going to be all bed and roses. He's gonna if I could see it now. He's always gonna be thinking, who's she texting? Where's she going? Like, that's always gonna be in the back of his mind. The relationship might as well be over. She didn't just cheat on him. She lied to him for 6 years, brought a child into the world that was the other person's child, and made him think he was the father. That's not just cheating. You freaking scanned and conned him. That's a whole level. Is that what these freaking videos are telling people? You know what, whatever. That aside, the video was decent. The actors weren't like the most horrible actors I've seen. It was actually a very difficult video to watch, and I really like who they cast for the girl. She's really adorable and really made you kind of feel sorry for her for a split second because of how adorable she is. You could tell that she's not a horrible person, but what she did was very horrible to him. And she probably did that with him because he's the kind of person that would take her back when she did it. Good grief. I need to go drink some water.